You're now watching Grafx Tongue, and I am Romiirae.
Off like I start any other interview. Start just you just telling us a little bit about you, your background, and what you do in your artistry.
Okay. I am Romiirae. I am a, creative director, event thrower, curator. I dabble in videos and treatments, and I do a lot, really.
I love that because I mean a lot of artists that we've had on the show are multifaceted in their art. They don't just do like singing or just like dancing. Like they do dancing and singing, and I'm a painter. Like, you know,
it's creative.
Right, that's creative. I think that's kind of like a common trait now in today's age, especially. Yeah. I'm curious to ask, to just kind of make a little stop point here. Do you feel like that's because of technology, or why do you feel like that is now more so?
I think it is because of technology, maybe social media as well, because now you're seeing people that you may have looked up to do different things. So therefore it's like, oh, okay, so I can do different things. I don't have to just be a photographer. Right. I can do photography and videos. Like I can sing and I can, maybe rap, or I can sing and do videos. Like it's like you see everything more so like on your phone, so you see everyone doing so much different things. So it's like, okay, I can do that too then. Right. So it's like with me, I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like I learn quick, so I like to learn new things. When I learn new things, I start to stick to it, and like I feel like find like an interest in it. So if I find an interest in it to like keep on doing it, I'm just keep on doing it. That's my craft.
Facts. I feel that. A lot of times with like Grafx Tongue, that's kind of like the way I take the approach. Is like I like different things, and a lot of things I've learned over this time, like being in college, going to film school, from now being in audio engineering, from my previous years of acting and different things of that nature, and being in front of different cameras and stuff. I've just picked up different traits that led me here, and it's kind of like prepared me for this job, or we'll say, I guess you would say. It's not really a job, but like it prepared me for this moment. And so I think that definitely is what makes up a lot of us, is seeing different people, because seeing different people on my Instagram definitely influenced me to kind of like think about, okay, well, maybe I should start a magazine company. Like maybe I
can try it out.
Maybe I can do this. Like it's not hard. My friend is over here taking pictures and getting sponsored. Maybe I can. Maybe I should take that leap. Okay, so we're just gonna keep moving forward. I want to say, what do you aim to say in your work, like the different events that you plan with Vibes Texas, and different things you do and you dabble in? Like, what do you ultimately aim to say inside of that?
That, well, first, women can do it too. Yeah, that's mainly my main thing too. Right. Also, underdogs can be great. Underdogs can, get the flowers they receive. When I first started, I was more so of like an underdog person, where I felt like I just was not heard and not seen. So I was like, let me just get all my friends that are not heard and not seen, and we'll just do this and call it Vibes Texas. So it's really why I started doing it, because I'm like, you take the aspect of like the gatekeepers out when you're like, okay, I don't really care about the gatekeepers, because I want to help all my friends be gatekeepers too, I guess. So it's like we're all gonna be gatekeepers. So it's like everyone's a gatekeeper in my own like view. So I just do it. Like it became like a monthly thing, to where I'm just like, okay, like, what's next? Like, let's do something else. Who else do we want to like listen to live? Like, who else do we want to have come paint, or have their vendor like come out of their vendor table out and like bring everything out? Because there's a lot of people that come out that I never even thought I would meet if I didn't was doing it. So, but
you had to take that first step to kind of get those people to necessarily come out. You know what I'm saying? Like the first event wasn't what the event today is. No. You know what I'm saying?
The first event I was like, why am I doing this? The first event I was like, oh my god. I was like, I feel like I was like in the hole after that event. I was like, whew, okay, like let me see what I can do next that's better. And like the next event actually was better than the first event. So it's like I learned everything going through. I learned that I have to have a sound engineer. I learned that I can't do sound by myself. I can just bring speakers in and play sound and like make it sound good. So then I got a sound engineer that actually knew. My sound engineer actually performed at my first event. Like before it was Vibes Texas, it was Vibes. So he performed at the first event. So it's kind of like everyone I work with, kind of we just met through doing what we do. Yeah.
And I honestly, I would say like that's probably like the number one thing. A lot of people are looking for that big break and looking for like an artist or somebody of high caliber to come to their bedroom and like sign them or pull them out of the mud that they're in, you know what I'm saying, the hard times that they're in. But a lot of times it comes from you and you just getting out there, you know what I'm saying, because you never know who you're gonna run into.
You never no you never know. You definitely never know.
So I'm curious to ask about like, as far as like as the events went on and you planning, what kept you motivated? Like you said, like the first Vibe Texas you was in a hole and things of that nature, so like what kept you going necessarily to keep pushing and pursuing and making these events happen like around Texas?
I think more so meeting more people and actually giving other people a chance to meet more people, or dope people meeting dope people. And then people like saying, oh, when's the next Vibes Texas, or when are you gonna do that again, or we had so much fun, or hey, we really appreciate you doing this, or we really feel like we needed this for the city. Like things like that helped me keep going, because I feel like Dallas is big, but it's not a lot of people in Dallas that really care about the underground or care about people that are not 15,000 followers or like a lot of views, or someone that's not working with Drake. So it's like I feel like with me, I don't care if you have 10 followers. If your music is good, I'm gonna like your music. Like I'm gonna keep like wanting you come through. I'm gonna invite you to my events. I'm gonna speak to you when I see you. So it's like it takes away from people feeling like, oh, I have to be popping or I have to be popular to be relevant. And it's like doesn't really matter. Anyone can pop the next day. So you can have 10 followers one day and have 1 million the next day just off something small. Like like you never know. So he's like, treat everyone the same. Treat everyone the same way you want to be treated. Like, you know, respect them. Things like that.
Because I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, we're all humans, and like especially with the internet, like it's so easy to go viral. Like you can go viral at the most dumbest things. Like you can literally trip and fall, get put on Twitter, and then like everyone's talking about you.
At you.
You know what I'm saying? Like now you have a bunch of followers, but like ultimately at the end of the day, yes, followers don't make the person, because that is very artificial. You know what I'm saying? And like what really makes the person is the inside of them. More so. And a lot of times that's shown in good music, is that person's a good person. When they have good music, 9 times out of 10 it's usually because they have a good heart. I won't say always.
You just listen to the words. You can just listen to the words.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of people that speak on just negative things in their music, it's like you have to like understand that person's probably negative, because like they're only talking about negative stuff. They're always talking about, you know, if they're like feeling like people are against them in their music, it's like, okay, so why do you feel this way? It might be like an internal thing. So it's like you have to listen to people's words more than like, oh, it's a good beat. It's like the words, what the words saying. So I feel like that's important as well.
No, I feel that, because there was a film artist who's in a documentary. I don't remember what documentary it was, but he was talking about that you can really tell what a director's obsession is by the way his shots are taken. So a lot of directors are obsessed with like the parts of people's bodies, so they'll like zoom in on the lips or zoom in on the eyes, and every shot is like close in on their face, because they're obsessed with people's faces. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell a person's obsession through their art. And so while you're saying pay attention to people's lyrics, you really tell who they are, what their deep dark secrets is. It's like it makes a lot of sense to me.
The words, sure. Because you know, some people they be capping, but some people sometimes in between the lines you can hear, you know, what they're really thinking.
What they're really thinking and what's really there. Because I mean, at the end of the day, truth is what writes music. It's you can't do anything without the truth. If you don't have it, then your art, everything you do is just going to be just kind of like,
unless you're a good storyteller,
you know, like unless you're just good at the craft of it, like we just gonna see right through you,
lying on spot. Like,
come on now, like, you know, we know. Before I'm going, I kind of want to keep talking a little bit about what we was talking about a little off the camera just a minute ago. A little bit about some other things that you do, because I know people who are gonna be watching this know also that you do Vibes Texas. I mean, that's like, that's the headliner. We know that. But to kind of give the people just a little bit more detail about what you do, I kind of just want to hear a little bit more about like the other things you dabble in besides Vibes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I help artists out in regards to like videos. If they need to find like people to, I guess, fill the room or extras or anything really about the video, I can help with videos. I work close with, I don't know if you know Coach Tev. I work close with Coach Tev, so I help him with pretty much anything he needs. I help him with that, and he helps me with a lot of stuff on my side too. So it's kind of like a reciprocation type of relationship. But really anything, I can find venues. I go to the venues. I know how to talk to venue owners and business people. To set up and help you throw the show. I can curate your show, event planning. I have a team of people that have like a lot of different things. We have DJs, graphic designers, promoters, painters, anything really you need that I can really find it. If you need to put a show together, I can help you find it.
Facts. This is the woman to come to if you need a show planned anywhere, not just Dallas, anywhere. We're not gonna put a cap on it, okay? So hit her up. But no, for real though, that's really, really dope. A lot of that I heard throughout the whole entire time you've been talking is communication, I guess, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Relationship, I'm just going to use that word in place because that's not the word I'm looking for neither, but it's closest. Relationship building is like the biggest thing I heard through the whole thing. You're like talking about Vibes Texas and talking about the start of it, to talking about your production work that you do, because that's a lot of, you do a lot of production. You're a producer, you know what I'm saying? just gonna put it out there. You're definitely a producer. So from the production work you do to connecting with artists to the work you do on Vibes Texas, it's definitely built off relationship building. And I think that's very, very important as an artist, to have that skill set, building relationships with one another and building that rapport with one another. Because if you can't build a relationship with the person that's standing next to you saying, I want to do this too, 5 years down the road, you know what I'm saying, if y'all meet, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to do all that groundwork you could have done back, you know what I'm saying, that you could have done, a long time ago, but now you got to do 5 years later when they're hot, and now they're gonna be looking at you like,
why are you here?
Why are you here? What are you really here for? So it's kind of like one of those things where it's good just to build a relationship, but I kind of want to get your kind of take on the importance of building a relationship and the importance of the skill of building relationships.
Okay. I feel like building a relationship is essential to being successful, because I feel like just like this, us talking, it's like we're building a relationship because you're getting to know me, I'm getting to know you. So it's like I got to know you, and next week if I see you out again, I'm like, oh, I know you. So it's like you build a relationship to like be able to connect with people, because you never know what that person has to offer. You never know what you have to offer for that person. So if you come together and put two minds together, you make a whole bigger like production or like event or relationship. Like anything can happen from like putting two like-minded minds together and making something happen. I feel like it's very essential to be successful. You have to have good communication. I feel like customer service is also like a big factor in my whole brand. Like from the time you walk into my events, my girl in the front, she's welcome you to Vibe Section. She's like, welcome to Vibe Section. Or how are you doing? Here's your hand sanitizer. Like it's like we make sure that you know that you're at Vibe Section. So I feel like that's very important to me. So I make sure everyone on my team is like able to like have good customer service. Like whatever you need, or if you have an issue with something, we'll help you to fix it. Like I had an event in February. I didn't know it was gonna be this big, but it was really big and ended up being a long line outside, and it was like people upset, people mad, angry, whatever, and we had to basically just like, understand, like, we understand, like, you don't want to wait to get into something. Like, you don't want to come to something and have to wait a long time. And we had, it ended up being too big that the fire marshals came and they had put a pause on my event to where I had to like get everybody out, and we had to like make sure only certain people came inside, and when they left, like of course we let everybody else in. But it's like it put a pause on the whole event where people thought it was going to shut down, but I feel like it might have been God's plan, because they could have shut me down. Like back in 2015 they shut our event down in 2015 that I was a part of. So they can't, when your fire marshal come, it's like they're going to shut you down. But me and Corey, the guy that owns the supply, was Ear Hustle Studios, he and I was like talking to the fire marshal, like, what can we do, like what do we need to do, like, hey, this and whatever. And the fire marshal's looking around the whole spot like, this is nice, like all the art, whatever. And even though there was like a guy in there, like the fire marshal was like vibing to the music and stuff. I'm like, see, why would you want to put records down and you like it? Like he was like, I know, but it's like, so it's like You have to like be able to talk to people, because no matter what, if you can talk to somebody and like you can say something to them or ask them anything, the most they can say is no. Like, you know, the only thing they can say is no, and they're not gonna fight you or hurt you because they're saying no. It's like, you have to know how to talk to people and communicate like what you want or what you actually need. Be vulnerable sometimes, because it's like no one wants to be, you know, talking to someone that's rude or like, you know, dry and like, you know, whatever. So it's like communication and relationship and customer service is like real big to me and like my business. So I feel like it kind of sets me apart from other people, because it's like customer service is like the main part of me. Like even like down to my website. I build my website. I also do that too. I say that. I build my there you go. I build my website. I make my flyers. I make sure all my vendors and my artists have their own personal flyer, because that's what they would like. You know, you do want to promote yourself. Like, you know, you want to promote everybody, but also you want to promote yourself first. So I make sure they have their flyers, everything they need to succeed in the event. I tell them what they need going into the event, what you may need, what other vendors in the past have wanted or needed. So therefore, it's like customer service, because I'm making sure they know everything. That's like customer service to me, like being able to make sure every artist or every vendor feels special and like important, the same as the other person beside them, because no one's more important in my events than another person.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I love that. I love that. It was two major things that I like try to keep in my head, because there's a lot of stuff you said I wanted to comment on, but there was two things I picked out of that. The two major things I'm gonna focus on. One is the experience. And then the second one, I think I just lost the second one, but I'm gonna remember it. But it's the first one, the experience. Like, you talked about the experience of Vibe Sexes coming in, you know, the girl standing there giving you the hand sanitizer, greeting you at the door. Like, a lot of people wouldn't even have a greeter at the door. They would just have the event and have someone taking the money, and the money person probably be like, give me your ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one would.
And my girl at the front is Angelique. I just gotta shout her out, because she's helped me so much, and she don't even know. Like, I feel like she's my top person. Jobs too.
But you need people like that who've been there, because she's been there since the beginning, right?
She's been there probably a year and a half now. At first, I had a few other people working my door, but she's been the person who's been holding it down for a year and a half.
But I mean, I knew she had been there for a time period. You know what I'm saying? Just the way you described her, and you know what I'm saying, just, you know, brought her up and everything when you first talked about her. It made me realize, like, she must be really greeting these people. Is she getting them hand sanitizer and stuff? Like,
and people will comment and mention it on Twitter, Instagram, like, the girl at the front, this and that, whatever. Like, she was cool, she was so nice, and this and that. So I'm like, yeah, she be on her shit. So it's like, I feel like it's important to make sure your team is a reflection of you. So I want people to feel like welcome when they come in, even if I'm not at the event at the time or you can't find me, because a lot of time at my events you probably won't find me a lot. So it's like, I'm always doing something. So like, having a team that reflects you is like important to me, because it feels like if I'm not there, they're gonna be there and they can hold it down for me. So I feel like having her at the front doing that, I didn't even tell her to do that. So it's like, she just does it. Like, that's how she is. She's very outgoing and she's very respectful and nice. So I feel like having people that reflect you and like help you, you know, build your team is important to me as well. And I just really appreciate it.
That's why I brought up experience, because experience is, I know, is the biggest part, because like you were saying, the people who work for you, or not even work for you, the people who are helping you and being a part of the journey is a reflection of you still. You know what I'm saying? They are the thing that shows who you are when you're away. When you're like handling that fire marshal in the back and they're in the front, they need to still be, you know, a representation of you, because ultimately at the end of the day they're gonna say, I'm from Vibes Texas, and Vibes Texas is associated with you. Everyone knows you do that, so like immediately they're gonna think of you. So I think that's a very important thing, and I think that's sometimes a thing that when you're first coming in as an artist you kind of overlook, is the customer service and experience type thing. Because you're so caught up in the whole thing of just doing, that sometimes you leave behind some of like the basics stuff that like kind of been given to you. Like, we all know experience. Like, we go into a restaurant, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to just go into a restaurant and be treated like anything and get anything for your food. Like, you want the best of service. So like, when you throw an event, that's the same thing. But I say all that to say, you know, I know that like that wasn't the first initial, like when you first got into this, curating that experience and everything took time. So I kind of just want to know, like, because I make these videos, give you a little backstory about Grafx. I make these videos for young artists that are up and coming every day. You know what I'm saying? I make it for the 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid, even farther than that, the 24-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all still kids at the end of the day, and we're all trying to figure it out. So I make these for the people who are out here still striving to be an artist, still trying to get it. And you know what I'm saying, trying to just like make a way, but they don't know how, they don't know the step.
Right.
So to see other people who are doing it helps them kind of figure out their way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I make these videos. So a lot of my questions are geared in that way, and like informing the public of how can you do this if you wanted to. Like if you wanted to, this is a little sauce. We ain't gonna give you all the sauce, but we gonna give you a little bit, let you taste it. You know what I'm saying? Guess if there's like some pepper in there, some salt in there, you know what I'm saying? Like you could guess what's in the sauce. Curate your own sauce though, you know. But for sure. So I brought that up to say about curating your experience. I just kind of want to get your advice on the best way to curate the best experience if you're building something from the ground up, say like another event or a music, because I think it translates to anything like a concert. You know what I'm saying? If you're a musician and you're doing a concert, you're doing an art gallery, you're an artist. Yeah. Like, what's the best way to curate the best experience for the public?
Well, now I would say just focus on the small things too. I feel like when I first started out, I didn't focus on the small things. So like sound, who's going to work the door, who's going to pass out tickets, who's security, and how are the vendors going to be displayed into the room so that the vendors are able to benefit off of the experience as well. So I feel like when I first started out, I was more so like just trying to figure it out on my own and trying to do it on my own, and then I had to learn that I couldn't do it on my own. So I added different elements to my business and different things that can make it flow. Now I have certain people that handle certain things, so it's less on me, so I'm less stressed out. When you have too much stress on you, you feel like you don't want to do it anymore. So I feel like I got to a point where I'm like, I don't even think that I want to do this anymore, because it's like you feel so stressed out that you don't really pay attention to the love and the appreciation that people are giving, because you're so stressed out on like the bad stuff. So I feel like focusing on the small things that you don't even think that you may need are the key factors that help your event or your business prosper, because you're having to, I don't know, when I first started I would like write everything down too. Now I went and like got my MacBook like last year, so I didn't have a laptop. I was really just doing it like 2 years like without having a laptop. Once I got a laptop, I really did deep into like my customer service and like having a relationship with these artists and the vendors, because I'm able to communicate with them off like my laptop. I made my website, and that's easier for me to communicate with the vendors. So having like a system is definitely important now, because I feel like if you don't have a system, you're just gonna be out here just whatever. Like this goes this. I've been to some events before. It's like I'm like, where is the order at? Like who's handling this part of the event and what's going on? Like it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a perfectionist too. Maybe I like to have organization, but I feel like with events, it's hard to like have an event when everyone's just doing whatever they want to do. But I'm also very big on doing whatever you want to do, but make sure you're doing whatever you want to do within the means of where you're at. Like read the room. Like read the room, know what you can do. Like make sure you're doing something that doesn't make you look like you're just out here doing something. Just make sure you're able to like stand behind whatever you're doing. So I stand behind my business. I stand behind Vibes Texas. Like we really cater to the creative scene, and we try to make sure we treat everyone the same and make everyone feel special and loved and appreciated. You may not perform my event, you may not be a vendor at the event, but you will be one day, and you will be once we get along to it. We have a long list of people that want to be a part and things like that. So I stopped doing it monthly. I try to do it like every other month now, so it gives me more time to actually focus on other artists and other vendors and stuff. So I feel like having a system is very, very important. Like not just doing an event because I want to do events because it's cool, or everyone else is doing it, so I'm gonna do it too. Just basically like having a real passion for it is very key too. Like I couldn't do events if I didn't have a passion for it. I couldn't do it like really I would like to be a wedding planner. So I was like, I want to be a wedding planner when I get older. So I feel like when I get older, like, you know, too old to like be out here with the kids, I'm doing wedding planner. So I'm gonna have like a wedding planner business. So it's really like having your system, your goals, like write down your goals. I write all the time. Like I write everything down. I'm always taking notes. Like I make sure that I know like what I'm doing. Yeah. And you know, you may not be everyone's favorite. Yeah. You may not, you know, please everybody, but as long as you're pleasing the people that are appreciative to other, you pleasing them, or you're able to, you know, have a reciprocation, like everyone's pleasing everybody, then you're good. Like I feel like my business has been flourishing because I don't treat anyone with disrespect. Like I don't treat you like, you know, you don't matter, because everyone matters. Like I feel like everyone matters. I never treat any artist more than the other artists. Like I could have my best friend on the lineup and you never know. Like I've had my best friend on my lineup 3 times and no one even know who she is. So it's like you never know who the person is. Like you treat everyone the same, so you can be able to say, oh, this is a respectful business. They're not picking favorites. Like I started because I didn't want to pick favorites. I don't feel like favorites really are gonna make your business like go to Drake or whoever you're trying to aim for. Like it's not gonna make it pop, because really, like when I came, I'm not even from Dallas, so I moved to Dallas. I just like, I seen Dallas for what it was. I seen like Dallas was like a lot of clicked up. Like Dallas was like very clicked up when I moved here. Sorry. And I was like, man, like, because I'm not clicked up. I don't like to be clicked up. I didn't like high school. I didn't like the whole let's sit here and with our friends or whatever. I was more so like, I'm gonna go sit by myself or something. Like I wasn't like a clicked up type of person. So when I moved to Dallas and I seen that, you know, a lot of people were clicked up or whatever, it kind of inspired me to do my own thing and make, you know, I know these people because I'm not clicked up and they don't know me. So it's like when you don't know somebody, like I don't know what to expect. So like when you start like treating people with respect and teach them how, you know, you would like to be treated, it kind of makes it different than people that are like, oh, you're not popular enough to sit with us, or you're not cool enough to be at my event, or no, you can't be on the list, or no, you can't perform my event because you have 100 followers. What am I gonna do with that? So like you have to treat people like the same way. Like and I hate when people like, I hate when like my friends are like asked, oh, when they like want to perform somewhere, like how many followers do you have? And I'm like, what does that even matter to you performing? Like you're performing. Are you dope? You're not like, why are they asking you how many followers you have? And like I hate when people like people ask people to pay to perform or anything in their own city. Like I don't really like that either. So I'm trying to figure out a way to like do my thing and like make you feel like, you know, you're appreciated. You don't have to pay to play all the time. Like I feel like paying to play is like scammer shit. Like it's like, why are we paying to perform my own? This is my city. Why do I have to pay to perform in my city? I'll just go somewhere else then. Like I feel like just be an example and show people a good time, like experience, like Vibes might not be the like dopest event in the city or whatever, but we're gonna make sure you have a good time. We're gonna make sure you have a good time. We're gonna make sure everyone, you know, is loved. Like when you go into Vibes, it's like I feel like the like feedback I've got from Vibes is when people say when you walk into Vibes you feel loved, like you feel welcomed. You meet so many different people. You meet people. The people at my events I don't even know. At this point it's like people that come to my events I don't even know who they are. I've never met them, and when I meet them it's like, oh hey, and like, you don't even know it's my event. Like I try to make sure like Vibes and Romiirae are different. So it's like I have 2 different pages, separated or whatever. I rarely post myself on my Vibes page. I try to make it like Vibes is us. Like we're Vibes. Like if you've ever been a part of Vibes, then you should feel like you're Vibes too. So it's like Vibes is like a big family. We make it a family, and everyone on my team, like we really like make it a family. We try to like link up and like have like Vibes days and like, you know, get to know each other, catch up, bond. And I just feel like experience is basically just relationships and customer service and how do you feel when you walk into the room. Like, how do you feel like past? So when you get to the front and Angeli says, welcome to Vibes Texas, it's like, okay, that's where I'm at right now. You can't walk into the room like, is this Vibes? She's gonna say, welcome to Vibes Texas. Like, welcome to Vibes. So I was like, I like that. Like, I didn't even tell her to do that. I was like, girl. I was like, you going places.
You're literally like the embodiment of the first season of like Grafx Tongue and everything we talked about. Like literally like having you on this show today to talk about Vibes Texas is like kind of like a reiteration of what we talked about last episodes and stuff, because a lot of it's just about trusting the process, about building relationship, about, you know what I'm saying, all these things that I guess artists and people coming up overlook. And like you say, They worry about the followers. They worry about the money. They worry about the materialistic things that are perks of the job. It's not the job. You know what I'm saying? It's not what we do every day. That's just perks that come along. And there was someone I was talking to the other day, and I was telling them, I was like, you can get a Ferrari literally doing anything. Like, you can go sell, I don't know, air conditioners, you know what I'm saying? And buy yourself a Ferrari, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could be your reality.
You can lease a Ferrari.
You know what I'm saying? You can lease a Ferrari. Like, you could be all iced out. Like, you could be making enough money to do that. And not be in music and not be in, you know, the artistic world. Like, you don't have to be here to do that. So, like, when you go into this, that shouldn't be your overall goal. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that can be accomplished anywhere. Right. So, at the end of the day, I was telling her, I was like, what the real biggest thing is we got to remember is the small things. And I think a lot of times we overlook those small things, like trusting the process. When things get hard, like I noticed you said there was a point in lives where you kind of didn't want to do it no more. You was like,
yeah, I feel like it was I think in 2019 I literally really was like went somewhere like and just ducked off in a room. It was like just crying. He had to come find me. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Like, it's stressing me out. Yeah. Like, I don't have this or whatever. But this is before I had got like my team together, and I was like, this is like horrible. I'm like doing horrible. And then people was like, oh, it's my favorite event. I had so much fun. I'm like,
it's kind of crazy how like the moments when you need that uplifting, it comes out of nowhere. It's like the weirdest moments. Like sometimes like people come up to me and like will tell me something that I did in the past or said to them in the past that really touched them, and like in that moment I was feeling my kind of my lowest. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it had been like a couple of days. It wasn't right after that moment, but like it had been a couple of days and I needed that. Yeah. Like that person to say that. And it's kind of crazy how the universe kind of like brings everything together in that way.
Like, you sure? Like that's my least favorite event. Like, but yeah, you just have to trust yourself, trust the process, and
because I mean in a lot of ways a lot of people would like to start something and then if it doesn't pop off, they'll like to just move away from it real quick. There's even with a song, like I know a lot of times me being a producer, like I'll make a beat, and if I don't like the beat, I'll leave it, and like I'll leave it for like 3 or 4 days, which is, it kind of works for me being a producer in music. But I mean, when you're doing different ideas in your day-to-day life, you can't be that way because I mean, life is precious and time is precious. So you got to make sure that whatever you're in dabbling in, I guess I'm just gonna use. It was another word I was going to use. I couldn't think how to say it though. But the thing that you're dabbling in, you got to make sure that it's worth the time that you're giving it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it can't just be this thing that you get frustrated over because you're not getting the recognition that you're looking for. Or you're not making the money that you think you're supposed to make after like 2 months. Right. Like people be working on stuff for like 2 months and be like done with it. Or 2 weeks. So I guess my next question is, what would be your advice to that person who has reached that breaking point? Like, what would necessarily be your advice to, I guess, keep moving? I guess, like, to pull yourself out of that and something like kind of remember about?
Maybe try it again.
Try again.
Yeah, it's cliche, but dust yourself off and try again. Yeah. Like, that's really like, try again, maybe take a few days, disconnect, and actually understand why you're doing it. If it's if you have too many cons on your list and your pros, then maybe you shouldn't do it. But if you have a lot of pros and you know it is doing something for your like your peace of mind, like you're loving it, you're like enjoying the process, enjoying everything, but you do have some like bumps that you have to get over, then you know keep going. But it's like if it's not something that you really want to do, you gotta just go back to the drawing board. Like you have to have more pros and cons on your list. If it's not like, if you're doing it for money, definitely don't do it because I people may think I make a lot of money off vibes. I may sometimes, I may not. Like it's like being an entrepreneur because I don't work, so it's like I'm really just doing this because this is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else, and so I'm making sure like everything I have, all my funds go into this. So it's like everything I'm doing, just it's like a recycling thing. Like, you know, I may be getting paid, but it's like I put money into this to get paid because I put $1,000 in, I only made $1,500. So it's like I'm still like getting out of like what I'm making. So it's like I'm not giving up because I'm not making thousands and thousands of dollars, because I don't feel like I'm making $1,000 off of events anyway. That's not my end goal. So it's like I feel like you have to understand like why you're doing it before you actually quit, because it's like if you're not doing it for other reason besides money, then you shouldn't be doing it anyway. Like it's not gonna, you may make money last, like you may get, you know, 1,000 likes, 1,000 followers extra. You may like meet Drake, Diddy, whoever before you make a lot of money. So it's like you have to understand like you're not always be able to be an intern. Like you always be able to understand you may be an intern somewhere. You may not make money off this, but it may give you flowers. It may give you a good relationship with somebody. You may meet you might meet Drake. Like you never know who you might meet, or it might get you somewhere. Like, and that's really what it comes down to. I feel like people will get caught up in like, oh, I need to get paid, or if I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing it. But that's like, with me, I don't think that way. So it's like, I don't really care about getting paid because I can make my money elsewhere.
Exactly.
So it's like, if I'm doing something with somebody, like if I go somewhere, I work with somebody, if I work with whatever artist, it's my decision to do it. If I feel like it's a good decision for me, I'm going to do it. I don't care if it's $50, $0. If I feel like I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it helps your creative juices go because you're being creative. Like if you're just sitting at the couch, at the house, pissed off because you're not making money, is because you're not out here making connections. You're not out here meeting people. You're out here, oh, you're not paying me, I'm not pulling up. If you're not paying me, I'm not doing it. If you're not paying me, I'm not going to do this. Okay, I'll just work with somebody else that wants, because I'm not getting paid either. So it's like, we're both not getting paid. So it's like, at the same time, it's like you have to understand, like, this is not a money business. It's more of a growth business, because you're having to grow from the ground and all the way up to the top. Like, I didn't expect to make millions of dollars off Vibes Texas. Like, it's not my goal to do it when I started. I just wanted to do it because I thought it was dope. Like, all my friends are being looked over. My friends, like, they have dope music. They do dope art. It's like, okay, let's just all come together and I'll throw an event because I know the people. I have the resources to throw an event. You have the resources to do your thing. So it's like we just come together and do it. And my host, which is 23 Cups, I met him in 2015, I think. And I don't know what happened to him. I think he just dipped off or something because I didn't see him for a while. And then I seen him at a event one of my friends was performing at in 2017, and I was like, okay, I remember him, and he was like so live and energetic. And 23 Cups has been my host since I started, and that's 3 years. So he's been always my right hand person. If he has an issue, if he has anything he wants me to fix, any feedback, I'm always like, okay, let's do it. Like we started different things at first, it didn't work out, he didn't like it, so we stopped doing it. Like I'm always like a sponge and receptive to information and like changing. So like always be able to change. Like you're gonna change no matter what. Like never be too old to learn something. Like you're never too old to learn new information. Like we're all growing. So 23 is like my right hand man when it comes to Vibes Texas. Like he helps it flow. One time I left my event for 2 hours and he kept it going. Like, and I was like, I'm gonna just stick with this with 23 Cups because he has my back. He knows what he knows what Vibes needs to be. Like Vibes needs to be done. Like he knows everything about Vibes, and like having people in your life that can help you keep things afloat will also be like a necessity too. Because you always gonna feel like, oh, my shit's not popping. Like I suck. Like you're always gonna feel like once a year maybe. Like it's not working. I'm not liking this. So it's like you have to have people in your corner. It's like no, like keep going. Keep going. This works. This works. Keep going.
Love that you having you on is you're not a singer. Not to the public, so this means she low-key has a voice, guys. Like, if you get the chance, when the cameras go off, we're gonna plug the mic up and everything, you know. But I mean, okay, we're gonna keep that in mind. But you know, you're not a music artist or an artist that most people will look at and automatically say, well, there's 1,000 ways for them to do. Like, not many people know about production. Not many people know how to be a producer. Like a producer is a very rare job, and it's a very job that many people have like all the ins and outs of what they exactly do.
I didn't know I was a producer until someone told me I was a producer. I was like,
exactly.
Really?
It's like, oh, really?
You're a producer then. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what they do? I guess I could do that.
They don't just bring the money, right? I thought they just brought money over, you know? Like, no, I had that same realization when I was in film school, and we broke down all of the stuff, like all of the job titles, and we literally looked at all the definitions for each job title.
That's what I really want to do. That's one like my things to do is like to learn like titles so I can understand like where I would like really fall in or like what I can help.
Do it for sure, because what I would say is going back to one of your other points you made where you was talking about Order. That's what it was. You was talking about order. And you're talking about how you got to have a structure to everything. It's a lot easier to have a structure to everything when you are able to give people titles. Because a lot of times when having your friends and working with your friends, and I know you experienced this, there's sometimes will take it upon themselves to do stuff, and they'll go do something, and in their eyes, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? But in your eyes, when you know the definition of their job title, it's like, oh, you overstepped this person. This person was looking for that, and you moved it. You kind of caused a... So just kind of know your job title, you know. But if they don't know and you don't know, then like chaos.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really good for that purpose, where you can give people their title and be like, you are the AD. So the AD does like, you know what I'm saying? You're the grip. So the grip does, you know, like
learn all that.
these are more film terms, but for sure, like these things like help when I'm like filming and different things, because they're able to tell us like, oh, you're gonna be with the audio person, or you're gonna be with the cameraman, or you're gonna be the assistant to the director, so you're gonna stay with him.
Been learning a lot. What's is it PD or DP? What's it?
DP.
I learned that just shooting with Tev and them. Like I was like, oh, what's that? And he's like, oh, okay. It's like producer, direct. Is it, what is it?
Director, producer. Yeah, I was
direct
like,
okay.
Producer. Yeah, and it's like you wouldn't know that.
Like, little lingo. I'm
exactly.
Like, you sure?
Exactly. And then it's like crazy because you would think that there was only one director on the set and he does all the calling.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
No, like you get on like a set that has a lot of funding, you see the director who's directing is like over here talking to the person while this person's telling everybody what to do.
I thought that was your job.
Who's in charge here? Like it's almost like a mob kind of thing. Like you can't talk directly to the boss. But no, it helps definitely. It helps with order, because like you saying, like you be like off talking to the fire marshal. You know, that's the only thing I know.
Right.
And like
that,
you know what I'm saying? So you need that person who like is in that position to go take care of that. Like, oh, I'm in next one in charge. Let me go step up and now take care of this. Because a lot of people don't take the initiative. A lot of people are not your friend that stands at the door and take the initiative to do things that are helpful for everyone. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this, another thing, that's what I was going to say. See, I love talking because it brings me back to my points, which I have my question now. A lot of it is leaning on one another. A lot of people believe that you can be a lone wolf and make it on your own, when a lot of it's leaning on your friend, or leaning on your girlfriend, or leaning on whoever that person is. But you need somebody else next to you. The power of two is like the only way you get in. I was talking about that in business communication class. You know what I'm saying? The power of two. So I brought that up. That was my next question. It's like the importance of the power of two. Like, how have you seen the importance of power of two? Like, I know you've had that supportive person. It may not have been the same person, but how has the importance of just someone being there for you to lean on while you're building this? How has that been really important for you?
It's something I didn't think I needed when I was going like it's not a person that's like, you know, in my business, you know, doing everything for my business, but I flyers, and I think the first of 2020 I started doing flyers. So I would send my flyers to Tev. Like I would tell, like, you know, how does this look? And he like, nah, I don't like this. Like, you know, you should do this, whatever. So like over the year, I've been like getting better and better, like learning like what other people can see, because like to me it might look good, but it's like to send it to somebody else, I'm like, nah, you shouldn't do that, or like, nah, it shouldn't be this way. Like having someone to like double check something or double look is always important to me too now, because it's like we're always gonna think we're right. We're always gonna think that we know it all, and we don't have, we don't need anyone in our corner to tell us anything. But once you do have someone that has a different mind than you, and they tell you, no, like you shouldn't think this way. Like before I was like, I would think so different. Like I would think my whole mindset was like a lot different. Like now I've been like working on, I've been getting older, so it's like now I'm like working on my communication skills and working on how I think, or how like what I do, or like maybe I won't spend the day on social media because it's like it's not for me. It's like social media is not really for me. Like I'll just be on there just talking. So it's like I don't need to be on social media. So like people in your corner, they'll tell you like just tighten up on things, and you have to be receptive to people that actually care about you, to know like this person's not attacking me, this person's giving me advice, giving me feedback. Before, if anyone gave me feedback, I'm like, you're not for me. I don't know why you're disagreeing with me, but you're not my friend. So it's like, but now it's like, okay, maybe I should think that way, or maybe that is right. Maybe I shouldn't be this, this way, or whatever. So like now I just be like, before I would like dibble and dabble and like negativity or like negative energy or like drama or whatever, but now I'm like, okay, you know, whatever, like, cause like I have my people around me, it's like, you shouldn't be even entertaining that. Like, I have like older people that I look up to as well, that I reach out to, or I tell them like anything I have or anything that happens in my life that's like requires something or someone's feedback or advice, I reach out to like my older people or people around me that are closer to me, because having like older people that mentor you is like important for me as well, because we as people, like when we're young, it's like we have like a hard-headed, like ready for whatever type mindset. When you get older and you think about it, it's like really you could just be chilling, like really you could just be chilling at the house, like, you know, do your thing, do your business, go home, whatever. But and when we were young, because I know when I was young I was high-headed, like I was on a team of guys and I was like the only woman, and I'm the one ready to like attack whatever, whoever's like throwing jabs at us, whoever's like talking down, whatever, whoever's throwing shade, like I'm ready to attack. They're like, no, Romy, just relax, like, you know, it's not that deep. Don't think with your emotions, think with your business mind. Like, don't think with emotions first, it's gonna get you down bad or whatever. But I feel like having people like that, or like having people that mentored me to get to my where I'm at, is like very important. When I first started, I was mostly being mentored by guys, like men that were in the scene before I was in the scene, that told me and showed me, introduced me to the right people, like brought me in under their wing and stuff like that, and like really like helped me figure out like what it is that I really want to do with my life, or what it is I really want to do, or how I want to be like perceived. So like I don't like deal with like negativity or drama, like period. Like I don't like dealing with it. If you deal with it, it's like it makes you like, it taints your like image and taints how you think, because if you're so like caught up in like a big black cloud, it's like we can't focus on the sun over here. So it's like knowing that your worth and knowing that what you will stand for and what you'll accept is also important. Like customer service for sure, but also being a business as customer service but don't really take shit is also like important to me too, because like I don't treat anybody disrespectfully. Like we don't do that on like with Vibes. Like, so it's like when it comes to us, we're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, where did this come from? So it's like knowing yourself and knowing your worth, knowing that you can lean onto people and understand being a sponge is very important, especially in this industry, because if you're not a sponge, you can't learn nothing. And no one wants to work with anybody that's not able to learn something. So I feel like with me, I had to learn how to be a sponge in order to, which I was already a sponge, but I wasn't a sponge all the way to where I was like able to understand like anyone is disagreeing with me is crossed out. Like that's not how I move now. It's like if you have a disagreement with me, if you have a issue with me, it's like let me know. Like let me know so I can fix it. Like I'm a fixer. Like I like to fix things. If you have an issue with me, like if I hurt your feelings today, and you told me like, oh damn, I'm sorry, I didn't know that would hurt your feelings, like you know, whatever, I didn't mean it that way. So I never like, if you don't move with bad intentions, you won't worry about people thinking you move with bad intentions. So like I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry, like, you know, pass it back, like my bad. But I feel like having a mentor in your life that is like older, has education, not unless it's school education, but just like education, knowledge about what you're doing is also important too. Like when I first started doing events and like wanted to do my own events, like I had a friend with I don't know if you know Intelligent Grind. I did promos. It's a guy named Cody. He's over it. And when he first started out doing events, I met him in 2015, and he was one of the people that I like talked to and like leaned on if I had any questions or whatever. Like he had booked Future one time, and he was like telling me the process. He showed me the information, like how, like what it looks like he would like send me stuff across all the important stuff. He was like, this is what you need to look forward to, you know, doing, like this is how it moves, like this is what you need, like this is how to do it. And he would invite me to like the events and the concerts and stuff, so I got to like actually see and experience like how it is to like what it feels like to be successful, or what it feels like to be like where I'll be soon through him. So it's like I feel like being able to have people to look up to, mentors, it could be your mama, your cousin, your best friend, a homie down the street, like your big homie, whatever it is, like being able to understand like that person has your best interest is gonna get you far. I feel like this got me a lot further than I would have gotten if I was just out here by myself, like listen to my own stuff, because I've came from a different background to where it's like I had like a lot of shit. So it's like me, like I'm a protector, so immediately I'm protecting myself. So immediately I'm like protecting if you're coming at me, I'm protecting myself. So I had to get out of that. I'm still protector, but it's like no one's attacking me. It's like you can't attack me. So it's like I know myself. So like just know yourself, be receptible for like knowledge and feedback and everything really, and it'll get you further than you think you would get.
The toxic energy coming into your pool, and associating yourself and dabbling in that, and a lot of times people will be like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Life is not exciting without a little toxicness, and then like.
And that's true, like sometimes, but like you know,
come on now,
decipher it, like,
yeah.
like don't be all the way in it. Like.
Exactly, like don't be like that's all you made of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, too much of anything is dangerous. Like, you gotta have moderation with everything. Whether that's water. Because even like water, you gotta have moderation with. Like, even though how healthy and great water is for us, like we gotta have moderation with water, because water can be a real detriment to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really hurt us. So with anything, you gotta have moderation. Moderation is very much so key. And I love that you brought up the whole toxic thing, because it kind of just ties right into that point about the power of two, and about when you picking your second person, you gotta make sure your second person ain't the same level as you. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta make sure they're level and calm. If you up here,
exactly,
10, you gotta make sure your person is like on 1.
You know,
like 0, like chilling. Like, okay,
you know, because at the end of the day, like you were saying about education, it doesn't have to be school education. It just gotta be education wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
Because wisdom. That's that wisdom. That's that I've tread the road. I've been through it. I've done this. Let me tell you what to expect. You know what I'm saying? And why I say it ties in, because that's literally why I started Grafx Tongue, because I had a lot of mentors coming up, and all my mentors, I love you guys. I think y'all did a wonderful job. A few of you showed me though that I can pick bad mentors that can lead me in the wrong direction and have me leading astray. And in a lot of ways, if I don't have anybody on the side of me saying, no, it's not you, it's really their mentor, you need to change that person because that person is not doing you well, and you're running with them all the time, and that's your crowd, that's your friend, that's whoever, but they're killing whatever you're trying to go after. In 4 years, 5 years from now, when you look back on this, are you going to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I didn't get this because I couldn't let this person go, or I couldn't let this thing go? Because sometimes
sometimes you let things go, because it don't be that deep. I feel like a lot of things that happen is not that deep.
Exactly.
Maybe I just don't care about like things that don't really benefit me. Right. It's like a lot of things don't be really that deep.
No, it don't be that deep. It be our emotions. Once again, our emotions.
Yes.
And it's kind of crazy, because now this is kind of sounding like a teen prep class, like a parent.
Don't do this.
This is your mom talking to you. You're just smelling yourself. You just have emotions. It's going crazy. You know, but it's true. As a teenager, when you're coming out of high school, like I think just so many things are going through your head, so many emotions, and even when you get out of teenage years and you're in your 20s, like there's so many emotions running through you. There's so much young blood running through you, and this is what I thought of Grand Theft Auto, or I guess Mario Smash Brothers would be probably the best thing. But when you first come into Smash Brothers, like you're just running up to people, like smacking them and like knocking them off the thing and like fighting them, because you have all these lives. So you're like, fuck it, like especially when you're like the first time playing, like you're like, oh, I got enough lives, I can do it. And then like you get whooped a couple of times, and like you go on that last life, and now you're like moving a little more smarter, like, doing
like, okay, be careful.
Let me not get knocked off the platform and lose this game. Out the way. Right. I was acting ignorant at first. Now I learned, and now I know. But that's really life. Like that's really how we are. Like when we're younger, like we're running into fights faster. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I still have my hot side, but I've tamed it. Like it's not like it used to be. Like
you can't get me on 10 too.
You know what I'm saying?
Like used to be. Like,
people used to talk about me in high school, and I used to, sometimes I would get mad, man. I had to let them know, like we had to go back and forth. Like I don't fault some people because they talked about my mama. Like like, I've been there. Like
they only do it to get you on 10.
Exactly.
So you have to know that you understand. Like, oh, you're just saying this because you want me to go off.
Yeah. There's been a really false perception pushed for so long as a superstar status, like, oh, this is what an artist is, this is what superstars do. Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he got $5 million cars in his garage and he has this big mansion. This is the life of a superstar. Everyone takes care of him.
A lot of people helping him be Michael Jackson.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people helping him be Michael Jackson. I'm sure he has a long list of people that he thanks all the time.
And you know what's crazy is the thing that Beyonce did that was better than him Ooh, people are probably give me side eye now, huh? The thing that Beyonce did better than him though is she went in and became her own producer, and I think that was better for her because Michael had a lot of hands in, and at the end he didn't know where the money went, so he had to come back. So I think a lot of that also was on his spending, but no one was telling him don't spend. He didn't have that second person there to say, hey, don't spend that. You don't need to spend that. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. This is smarter. This will help you in the long run. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there were, but at a certain point, I feel like he started distancing himself because he couldn't trust people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? After a certain height, your trust starts to get weary with people. So you just got to start building these things now in the foundation where you're not found, where you're not the biggest celebrity on the face of earth. So when you do reach a point of superstardom, you have a foundation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A great foundation.
And another thing I like to tell people that are just starting out, like my friends that, you know, want to get into events, I tell them that the easiest thing for me was me trying to put myself in everyone else's role. Like, even my sound engineer, I help him bring his stuff in. Like, I help him bring his stuff in. I'm helping him take it down. Like, I'm learning, like, what this is or what goes here. He'll tell me in the process of him hooking up, this goes here, this goes here. One time, a few times, actually, he wasn't active in you yet, so I had to set everything up. He would, like, be on FaceTime telling me, put this cord here, put this cord here, now turn this on, like, put this on, like, put your laptop here. Like, so I had to, like, you have to learn things in order to know, like, what it is that person is going through to actually appreciate them. It helps me appreciate my sound engineer. It helps me appreciate my host, because I tried hosting before and it's not for me. Yeah. So I was like, no, it's not for me. So I appreciate you doing it. You do a great job, but it's not for me. I'll walk around and make sure everyone's doing their thing.
Exactly.
Like, I've worked the door before. I've helped my DJ put his stuff up. I've been here with my DJ too. Like, whatever he needs, what you want to do, like, you want to do a video for your own self, like, we're doing it. Like, it's not like I'm just here and everyone's underneath me. Like, we're also like, what this person need to do. I have a guy, Jared Moody. He wants to get into videos. So we're trying to help Moody get into videos. We're trying to help say, what can we do to help you get into videos or get better at it. So it's like, you do every role, it helps you learn and appreciate.
Yeah, and it also helps you better your craft and better your shows. Like, the more by you setting up the soundboard and stuff, now you understand what you can accomplish as a sound engineer. Yeah. Not everything, but at least a little bit.
I was here by myself. Like,
I got it. I know. Okay, this chord goes here. Like, you know,
like, okay,
right. So, you know, I definitely try to highlight that. I definitely try to highlight the foundation of an artist on Graphic Tongue, because it starts here. It starts at the small steps. Yeah. My last question I have for you today is just what to expect from Vibe Texas. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's on the horizon? What should we be looking out for? Are we looking out for a single song? I don't know. She said she could sing. I don't know. Like, what are we expecting?
If I was to do music, it'd be under a whole different name. I wouldn't put my music out on my name. You don't even know it's me. But I am working into getting into, like, concerts and festivals. I am working on my first festival this year. The Juneteenth Festival. I don't know if you know Opal Lee. She's like has a petition to get Juneteenth a national holiday. Right. We had got 400,000 signatures last year. Got to the president's office, so we're working on getting it signed and stamps. She has a lot of people under her. Yeah. She had an interview with Didi, so it's like Didi is like trying to help her get petition as well. Like, I feel like I'm working under the right women to help me be who I need to be, and they're pushing me and helping me be great. They Diaria is a lady I work with as well. Yeah. She assigned me to be one of the event directors of the event. So like we have roles, and like it helps me keep on my stuff. Like helps me find organization with my own company as well. Like learning from her, she tells me a lot of stuff, sends me things I needed to learn and know about. So concerts and festivals. Eventually, I want a magazine company, so that's the thing. I'm gonna be, maybe Vibe Texas of wedding planning, or whatever. So like I have different things under myself. So a lot of things really, like, and also anything my team wants to do. So whatever they want to do as well. So
for sure,
we're just gonna keep it going. And branch out.
I love that. And look, honestly, like everyone I talk to, it starts off like that. Like I started here, now I'm branching off here, and I think that's another thing that we have to remember as artists is we're not one. Yeah. Give yourself room to grow and figure out what's the next thing. What's the next thing?
You might be singing today, but you might end up wanting to be a cake designer. Exactly. Like you never know what you want to do. Like,
and it can definitely be far, because you said wedding planner. Like that's really far from concert planning. not wedding planning. It's like, oh, okay.
Another level of stress.
Truly does, because you have to deal with the bride.
Right. It's like, okay, the patience. I'm working on my patience.
Right.
Gotta get patience first.
I love that though. But look, if there's no more, you guys know how we get out of here. Chase your dreams. Keep following your heart, man, and just keep following the things that you want to do. Like, you can do it. I believe in you. Romy believes in you. We here for you, man. Like, come on, just go get it, all right? So, this is Grafx.
Thank you.